Hey everyone, I'm Chris Shields. I'm a math instructor, and today I'm going to show a few features of Microsoft OneNote, which is the program that I use essentially as a digital whiteboard for both my synchronous and asynchronous online classes. Um, Before I hop into the features of OneNote, I just wanted to go ahead and demonstrate, or rather show you, some other programs that I use in combination with this. In order to grab screenshots uh, of things, I use Windows snipping tool. It's built into every Windows installation. There's probably some Mac or Linux equivalent. Um, and I use a program called OBS, or Open Broadcast Software, to record lectures for my asynchronous classes. OBS is completely free. If you search for OBS on Google, you should get to this website, and you can just download the relevant version. It's actually not too bad to use. You just have to add a scene and then add a source to that scene. Right now I'm just capturing my entire middle monitor. Um, so this is completely free to use, and pretty easy to set up. It's not as intimidating as it looks. Um, so let's hop into a little bit about OneNote. I have a few notes here. The first thing I should show is that you can have a notebook. So for instance, I have the math notebook open right now. Then you can create section groups in this notebook. For instance, I have these large section groups like Math 171 and Math 172. If I click on Math 171, you see I have 3.4 lecture, 3.5 lecture, 3.6 lecture, and 3.7 lecture. And so these are lectures that I recorded for my asynchronous classes. Oh, I also had a 3.3. I accidentally dragged it somewhere else. So these are all lectures that I recorded from my asynchronous classes. So that was a bit zoomed in from the last time that I was writing on it. And whenever we open up one of these, we then have a section, and under each section, you can have pages. So you can get really in depth with the organization of your notebook if you like. So in section 3.3, since there are several different topics, I broke these apart by topic, and I have multiple pages for each topic, so that I can go through various examples on different pages. I think I just had some images over here. Again, if you like, you can create separate notebooks. Sometimes it takes a few seconds for the computer to create the notebook. If I go back to this blank page that I have here, and you can collapse this navigation thing just by clicking right here in the upper left-hand side. I can click up here to add a title. So I can say this is a OneNote video. You can, of course, change the font and font size like you would in Word. We have basically all of the Microsoft Word basic text options up here. Now, the distinction between this field right here and the way it works in Word is if I type something, this creates a box. This creates a text box. So now if I click somewhere else and I type something else, this is now, and I should probably make this a little bit larger for us. This is now a separate text box. So these are two separate text boxes that can be moved and placed anywhere. If you click reasonably close to one of these, it will generally combine it. So like if I click below this one, it will throw me inside of that text box. If I click below this one, it puts me inside of that text box. You can delete an entire text box. You can, of course, like cut and paste. We also have a few things such as you can record audio on these OneNote files. I haven't experimented with that personally. There are a lot of features that I haven't personally used. You can enter symbols. You can use the equation editor just like in Word. Oh, there's a math button here. I'm not sure what the difference is. And the major thing that I use is I use the drawing features. I have a writing tablet. All right. Sorry about that. I had to plug my the wireless connector in. So I have a drawing tablet. And I use my drawing tablet to write my notes. Up here at the top, we have several different pens. If you tap on any given pen, it allows you to change the thickness of the pen, and it allows you to change the color. There are a lot more colors than it shows. If you tap on more colors, you get access to a pretty wide array of colors here. And I think that if I tap on one of these, it saves it to that pen at the top. So if I choose this, now this pen is pink. Now pink might be a little bit difficult to see. Oh, it's actually not bad. You can also add a pencil, a pen, or a highlighter up here. So if I want to add a pencil, I can add a pencil. I can make the pencil any color that I like. And I suppose it looks a little bit more like a pencil versus a pen. And of course we can have highlighters as well. I'll choose a color that's maybe a bit easier to see here. So you can highlight things if you like. We have, this is actually pretty useful in terms of math. We have a shapes tool that allows us to draw straight lines. It has a few basic shapes in here. We can draw in some XY coordinates pretty easily. There's this ink to shape feature as well. If I tap that, then, oh, I'm still on the highlighter. If I tap ink to shape, then whatever I draw, the program is going to try to approximate that into some kind of shape, at least whenever it decides to work. There we go. So I guess it can't figure that one out. It figured that out though, and that one. So ink to shaped sometimes does a good job, but sometimes doesn't do too great. You can also change the color of the page. You can change it to, I can actually see this color change a bit more vibrantly than it shows on the video. But you can tap down here for more colors. For instance, if you prefer to have the background be a black background or a darker black background, and you prefer to write in light colors instead, that's always a possibility. Maybe even something that's more like grayscale might be easier on the eyes, especially whenever you're looking at this for a long period of time. This might be a bit easier on the eyes. You would probably have to adjust the colors of the pens accordingly if you did something like this. You can add rule lines as well to the page. So if you prefer to have it be like a notebook page, college ruled, we have wide ruled over here. You can also create grid lines. So essentially you just turn this into some graphing paper that you're writing on, and we have a few different options for those. You can make it so that it always creates pages with those kinds of lines, so that every single time you start the program, you have these grid lines. me go back to none here. You can also, whenever you're making or whenever you're using OneNote, you can drag and drop things. You can drag and drop images into OneNote. For instance, if I want to drag a unit circle in, I can just Google unit circle and then drag and drop the image in from Google Images. And once it's in here, I should be able to click on this. There we go. And I can increase its size by dragging it at the corners, or I could just move it around. This is really useful for if you need to find an image, or if you have a relevant image on Google Images. What's also very nice is using snipping tool in combination with this. For instance, if I want to show some trig identities to my 172 students, my handwriting is a little bit sloppy. So if we're looking at things like identities, it may be sometimes best for me to take a screenshot of them and just paste them in to the OneNote. So you have a nice table of identities here. And I'm trying to think if there are any other. I mean, that about covers all of the features of OneNote. It's not a super complicated program. It's pretty easy to use. And I think that it does a much better job at being a whiteboard than Microsoft Whiteboard. There's a program called Microsoft Whiteboard that I feel like it doesn't do a very good job. But OneNote does a really good job at being a whiteboard. And OneNote is free to all of us because we use Office Suite. So on office.com, once you're logged in with your work information, you should be able to download this even to your personal computers for free and use this. And I believe that's it.